Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Pisces is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It does not cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards. Use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Magician card. This is you really being focused, concentrated, in control. This is you realizing that you have all of the materials that you need, that you have all of the skills and abilities that you need. If there's something you don't know how to do, you are figuring it out as you go. So perhaps if there is a lack of skill or knowledge about something, it's not holding you back. You know, this is kind of an on-the-job training a little bit. This is that MacGyver energy, you know, where you can solve this problem with everything you got here, with you, around you right now. Right now. Okay? Let's see what's going on with this card. Let's see where we have to use this skill and ability, this magic, right? Where is this coming in kind of the most useful for you, right? Let's see what other cards we've got. Now we've got that Knight of Cups, Four of Cups, Hanged Man, okay, Prince of Swords, Emperor energy. I feel like this is something taking place in a close relationship. It could be a family relationship, kind of getting this power dynamic, perhaps like with, I don't know if it's with a spouse or if it's with an older sibling or if it's with a parent or something like that. But I feel a closeness here with you. Okay? I feel that there is a bond. It could be a work thing, but there's a strong bond between you and I think maybe it's one other person, but we'll keep going. So now we're getting more court cards. Princess of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Now we've got a Prince of Cups and a Ten of Pentacles. I feel like right now this is a really kind of, I kind of feel like this is a big red alert, right? Because what it seems like is you've got to take the opportunity now to connect with various people to bring something together to completion, to this really good Ten of Pentacles at the end. This is what we want. And I think that there's this window of opportunity. I think you don't want to miss these connections. I feel like maybe there are a lot of people here. It could be really getting everybody together at the same time. You know, we've got some air. For the court cards, we've got air, we've got water, we've got earth, right? And we've got you kind of reaching out in this watery way with this Knight of Cups, which might not be what you're really used to. You're not really... maybe it's not really your comfort zone, your wheelhouse to try to bring people together in this way. Because Pisces, I feel like your work is mostly, well, internal a lot of times, and I feel like it's usually in a little bit of isolation that we sometimes sequester ourselves when we're doing very intense work. I feel like right now you're being asked to and we've seen this before for your readings, you're being asked to step into, to put one foot forward into that Aries energy, this Emperor energy, okay, which is the next zodiac sign after Pisces, right? We start the wheel again with Aries. So I feel like this is part of your evolution, and the more readings we do for you, Pisces, the more we see you stepping into this Aries kind of energy, taking the initiative, taking the leadership, having this commanding presence, rather than taking a kind of background role or being the kind of sagely and wise advisor to the emperor. You're being asked to be the emperor, themselves, And I think that this really is this kind of major red alert. There's some situation now that you need to step up and take charge and pull everybody back together. So we've got a lot of court cards, 1, 2, 3, 4 court cards. And it kind of it's speaking to me saying that you have 4 people going in 4 different directions. And what you've got to do is be the center and bring everybody back together. Okay? This is it could be a work thing. It could be a family thing. It could just be something with friends. It could be something that's very important. It could be the band, right? And I always use this as a metaphor. Because, a band or some sort of musical ensemble or some sort of creative collaboration, it's kind of like a family, but not exactly. It's kind of like a friendship, but not exactly. It's kind of like a business thing, but not exactly, right? So it's a little bit of all of these things. And so to me, that's a pretty good, metaphor for me, having been in, a couple of bands in my lifetime. No one you would recognize or anything like that. But however, if you are in the San Francisco Bay Area, look up a band called The Trims. Shout out to Gabriel, that's my boy. That's his band, The Trims. Wonderful band. Anyway, I feel like it's kind of like everybody's going in different directions. Could be creatively, it could be spiritually, it could be emotionally, right? But you're being called upon to really reach out, take the initiative. But this reaching out is an emotional appeal. It's an emotional reaching out. Okay? And now we're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and it's from the Rider-Waite-Smith. And we're just going to set it aside over here. We're going to put Robo-Duck right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. Okay? And if you have a prediction for this card, I want you to put it down in the comments, right? We can do it together. It should be a group exercise. I think it's good to practice our intuition, all right? And it will be fun. All right. Let's look around. What do we have as far as the major arcana? Just these 2. Just that you have the skills and the abilities. You've got everything you need right now to step forward into this very wise leadership kind of energy. There's a lot of wisdom in the magician here. And this could even be the kind of performative card too. It says maybe this is some kind of a creative collaboration, and we've got everybody going in different ways. You've got to be the one to reach out and bring everybody back together. You've got to try to be the glue. The 2 of Cups here, I like to call the 2 of Cups the glue, right? The love that keeps everything together. You've got to be the one to do that. And this is, don't ignore this. I feel like this is that kind of major red alert that everybody's going in a different direction and they're getting further and further away. We've got to do something, bring these people back together. It could be your family, friends, coworkers, bandmates, I don't know, whatever, right? So we've got our 2 major arcana energies. We don't have any real fire energy here at all. And that, I think, is what you're being asked to step into, is this fiery Aries Emperor energy. So this is the fire. Spirit is asking you, okay, red alert, you've got to take charge. This is a big step into this energy. Which, again, I think that you've been slowly easing into in your spiritual evolution for, at least here on this channel, for a couple months. It seems like we've had these kinds of clues in your readings. So no really overt fire, but fire here in the future. We do have water, a lot of water. Even the Hanged Man is some water energy. The water energy is really what we've got to deal with. This seems to be the emphasis. Is there too much water? Is there not enough water? Is there too much water of the wrong kind? We see a little bit of air, and we see the earth. Now, the earth is bookending the path of the serpent. And what this means is that this is a situation that if everybody plays their cards right, if everybody can work together, then we can take all of this raw material and create absolute wonderful success. So think of it like a musical ensemble. Think of it as your band, 4-piece band. And if everybody could get together and cooperate, and if we could all kind of write songs together instead of everybody just kind of doing their own thing, if we could come together and work on something as a group, then we could take all this raw material, raw talent, and we can slowly carve away our look, our sound, our album, our future, our success. And this, if I can pick up the card, this is that success, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, and this is what we're carving out of this. But we've got to get over a lot of these emotions. We've got to deal with a lot of these emotions, I think. With the 4 of Cups down here, I think there was a lot of hurt feelings, especially we've got that air energy up here. We've tried to talk about things, and there's just some kind of, I don't know if someone was offended by something, or there's just some hurt feelings. Like there's a lot of love between you all, but it's kind of frozen up. It's kind of locked up in this 4 of Cups right now. And this is kind of like when we've got a cold heart, you know, like we really love these people. It could be family members, right? You've had this happen before. We really love our family, but they did something to piss us off, and now we're just not talking to them, right? And I think that it's just kind of, we've just gone kind of cold to that person or those people or to the group or to the situation or whatever. And it feels like it's been this way for a little while now. Yeah. The Prince of Swords at the top of the path of the dove. There have been attempts for you to communicate, but it's been communication of the kind of the wrong kind. This is that lonely air energy up here. We tried it, didn't really work. And I think that was more like appeal to logic or an appeal to just even this kind of sound reasoning, you know, or just this very, very intellectual, right? Because this card is double air. There's nothing else in here. It's just air. And so maybe the communication that took place, we saw it as kind of being empty words. You know, there's no feeling behind it. It was the letter, but not the spirit. Yeah. And so what we've got now is the need for all of this water. And the Hanged Man back here, maybe this is sacrificing our pride a little bit and reaching out from the heart. As a strategy, it's not that you're being inauthentic, but yes, you have an agenda, right? Of course we do. We must have a purpose in what we do. And in this case anyway, I try not to speak in absolutes, right? In fact, I never do. We have an agenda in what we're doing. We're sacrificing our pride. We're sacrificing our ego here with this card. And we're reaching out from the heart, and we're offering the olive branch. We're trying to understand what the needs are of everybody else here, right? The bandmates, the flatmates, the family, the friend group, maybe coworkers, whatever. We're reaching out in a very sincere, emotional, authentic way. Yes, we have a strategy and a purpose in mind. We want to get things back together so everybody, all of us, can get to this successful 10 of Pentacles, right? Of course, you know, that's in our sight. But we're still trying to understand what the needs are of other people. What is it that they want that I can possibly either offer them or at least show them that I understand? You know, this is the difference between this card, the Knight of Cups, and the Prince of Swords here. This is the difference. Somebody is telling you their problems and telling you kind of what's going on in their life. And the card up here, the Prince of Swords, this is the one that's always trying to just offer platitudes and offer very obvious solutions and, you know, things that aren't really all that helpful, because it's like, yeah, I thought about that before, you know, complaining about bills and stuff. Well, just try to save some money. Yeah, thanks, you know, I thought of that already. And so that's what this method is. It's just kind of, it's empty in a way, right? There's nothing really behind it. It's just offering very obvious advice and platitudes. Whereas this card may not have a solution to the problem, may not be offering any kind of advice or instructions, may not have a solution for you, but is just kind of here to say, hey, I feel you, you know. This is that empathy. This is that compassion that we have. I think empathy really is more the term here. So the other person understands that we understand what they're feeling, you know. that we can share in that, even though I don't know the solution, but I'm here feeling this with you. Yeah. And I feel like that's what the people in this situation need to understand, or they need to experience that with you. Okay? And I don't think this was your fault. I don't think this was your problem. I don't think you did anything to cause this. In fact, I think that you have been, like I said, kind of staying in the background, allowing things to just take shape. You're not the band leader, right? You're not the one in charge of everybody else. You're just kind of doing your thing and going with the flow of things. But I think now it's really time to step up into this Emperor energy and try to bring everybody back together. Now, the Magician that we have right here in the middle, this is the performance aspect of it, for sure. This is the idea that we're going into this situation and we know what persona to wear. We know what strategy to use. We know that we're not going to use our Prince of Swords energy. We're going to use our Knight of Cups energy. It doesn't mean you're being insincere or inauthentic. It means you're being smart. It means you're being clever and you're being effective. You're using the right tool for the right job. Okay? And the tool happens to be your heart rather than your head in this case. Okay? The Emperor energy here, it's not an easy thing for you to do. Okay. And also, I don't know why Spirit's telling me something about a fast food restaurant or something. I don't know if you work there or if there's if that's like a meeting place where you would all gather or something to collaborate. Something significant about a fast food restaurant. Yeah. I don't know what that is. The Emperor is this, in your case, kind of this reluctant leadership. And it might be kind of a new thing for us to not only do this empathy thing that we're talking about, but to really stand up and be a leader and try to take charge, try to bring everybody back together, taking responsibility for one. Even though it's not your fault, even though you didn't do anything wrong and you're not going to apologize for anything, we sacrifice all of that pride, all of that ego, to just say, okay, I'm going to step up and try to fix this, even though I didn't cause it. Like you see trash on the ground, right? You didn't throw it there. You didn't litter, but you could still pick it up and put it in the garbage, This is kind of like that, all right? And I think this is kind of a new energy for you. But it really is important for you and your spiritual work, and I think it's really going to bring everybody kind of back together again. Getting the old band back together. Now, what exactly happened that caused this rift? I don't know. I feel like it was miscommunication. I feel like there's a lot of water here, so I feel like everybody's really sensitive, maybe generally, but right now I think it's heightened. It could be that there were some hurt feelings, maybe some miscommunication, maybe even this feeling that in our talks, in our relationship, there's really no depth, there's really no sincerity, so we easily get our feelings hurt. We easily feel kind of dejected, Let's go to the path of the serpent now, because we kind of have an idea of what we need to do. What's it going to lead to? Well, we're going to bring everybody back together. This is the Princess of Pentacles. It's solid. Everything is together as one. And I feel like there's a lot of raw talent in the room. There's a lot of resources here. There really is like this untapped potential when all of you get together. Now, this still could be a work thing, right? It could be a family thing, friends, whatever. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Okay, so all of you together are just something extraordinary. It's like a supergroup, It's like we're getting the Beatles back together, so to speak. I like the Beatles. I'm not a super fan of the Beatles. Anyway, there's a lot of untapped potential here. There's a lot of raw talent. And the other thing that the Magician talks about is the skill, the refinement of the raw talent. There are all of these resources here. The Magician knows how to tap into those resources and get them flowing and get them here doing, working, right? Usually we get the Magician and the Fool. The Fool is an individual with this raw talent. You're just born with the ability to play the piano like a master, like you're Elton John over here, And then the magician comes in and refines that, teaches you discipline and skill, teaches you technique, right? And that's kind of, it's in a similar vein here as that, all right? And of course, the Two of Cups, the love in the environment that's bringing everything back together. I think there is a lot of love between all of you. I just feel like it's kind of been frozen in space and time here, like this Four of Cups. But what we need now is more of this bonding. And again, this isn't that conversation where we just offer platitudes and very basic, obvious advice. No, this is just resonating with somebody. This is empathizing with them. There's two hearts in the same room, they start beating in sync, And I think that this is important for everybody to have that kind of, almost mystical experience that you're all connected. Okay. And you all have, I think, very harmonious energies. I feel like you all want the same things. I feel like there really is this underlying passion, this underlying objective, right? And it could be, this card's love. It could be the love of music. What is it that what is the glue that bonds all of you together? Maybe it is the love of music, right? Maybe it's the love of, I don't know, whatever industry you're in, whatever the company is that you work for. What is the underlying thing that bonds all of you together? Well, it could be blood. It could be, shared history, whatever it might be. Geography, I don't know. But that's what we have to kind of invoke. That's what we have to focus on and remind each other of, so that we can kind of put the past behind us, let bygones be bygones, and get the group back together, And the difficulty here is with the Prince of Cups here. This might be a Scorpio person in your life. It could possibly be that. I feel like this is kind of this is a card that's questioning the authenticity of things. This is someone who's trying to live authentically. And this might be a difficulty for you trying to get out of the comfort zone. Well, this is the Emperor energy, and it's just like, I don't want to be in charge, This is like you've been working in the warehouse for so long, right? And then suddenly management says, why don't you be a manager of the warehouse? I don't want to. It's a big change, And this is the difference really between being out in the field, in the trenches, doing the work on the assembly line, driving the truck, whatever, versus then coming inside and being a supervisor, being a manager, where now you don't get to drive the truck anymore. You don't get to just be out here in the field doing what you do, kind of off by your lonesome, just having a good time and enjoying the work. Now you've got the stress of the paperwork and all the administration and bureaucracy, and now you got the desk job. It feels a little bit like that, where we're just like, I don't want that. I like it out here where I can be myself and I can be creative. I don't want to have to do now like all this paperwork. You don't want to be the one, you don't want to be the band leader. You just want to play your instrument and bliss, and just have a good time doing it. Because I think you feel that's who you are, and this Emperor stuff, this leadership stuff, and maybe we're talking about a job thing. Maybe you work in a department, and maybe this is a message that, hey, you've got to step up and take some initiative to be the leader, and that you'll get recognized and you'll be promoted and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, you don't feel like it is you. You don't feel like you belong in this energy. But this is that evolutionary step for Pisces, right, is to step into a little bit of the Aries energy. Now, some of you are probably closer to the cusp than others, obviously, but I think this is kind of the natural trend of the Pisces energy, okay? And we could very well be talking about a job situation. The Ten of Pentacles at the end really is that promotion. It's that jackpot. It's that big win. That's the kind of the leveling up of your life. That is the big that is the best life scenario. Okay? And I think what the Prince of Cups has to really do is evaluate what their best life looks like. What do they want to do? Do they want to just be on the assembly line, driving the truck, just in the background, just as part of the band, playing their instrument, right? Or do they want to level up? Do you want to do more? Do you want to increase and improve and, be promoted in maybe in a literal sense, but energetically as well? So we have to find out in that kind of a personal way, where do we really see our life going, right? And if once we know what this is and how we want to expand our lives and succeed and do more and more and more and get better and better and better and move up, to that same degree and proportion, we will step into the Emperor energy in order to fulfill that and to attain that. But it really is a question of authenticity and what you feel is appropriate for you right now. We've got to pay attention to the signs, right? Don't ignore the signs. And I think the one thing that the Prince of Cups is good at is feeling that subtle energy, right? This is a very watery card, right? Watery on the outside, very sensitive to psychic energies. Very sensitive to signs and symbols, synchronicities, omens, divination, right? Dreams, this sort of thing. I think you're very sensitive to that. So this is a big kind of major red alert. And the way you get through it and to what degree you step into this responsibility or this leadership energy, it depends on your what you feel. Right, on that psychic level. Let's look at the mystery card, though. I want perhaps the Wheel of Fortune. Perhaps some more fire energy. Maybe we'll see some, like a 5 of Wands, showing that we're turning up the heat and we're stepping into that Aries energy. Maybe it'll be another Emperor card. Maybe it'll be the Princess of Cups or the Page of Cups, right? The fish and the percolator. Which to me, the fish and the percolator, fish, Pisces, there's a clue there. It would be an unmistakable sign. It'd be a neon sign flashing in your face. You can't ignore it. Right? If you have a prediction for the mystery card, put it down in the comments. Now's your chance. Here we go. Oh, there it is. There it is, the fish in the percolator. I think that this is a really, really big, obvious sign for you. I think in your life, in the external world, in your dreams, in your waking consciousness, there will be this synchronicity that will be unmistakable. And you'll know kind of that, okay, yeah, this is something I've got to do. For the sake of your future and these other people, your loved ones, really, you've got to step up and do some things, okay? I love this card. I love the fish in the percolator. I love Twin Peaks. I feel like this is someone who is very, like I said, very susceptible to those psychic influences, very sensitive to them, can see them, when they want to. This is kind of, if you're always dreaming about fish and you're always thinking about fish and you surround yourself with symbols of fish, you will find a fish in your percolator. You will see the confirmation of that psychic energy, what we immerse ourselves in. It can't be inauthentic. I can go and put a bunch of fish everywhere in my house, and I can just try to always be thinking of a fish and looking at pictures of fish. Doesn't mean that suddenly fish are going to start jumping out of the lake right into my lap. Okay? Because for me, that's not authentic. I mean, it would be because I like fish, I like water, but as an example, it has to be authentic, and that's very important to you. So if you're seeing these synchronicities, it's because it's not something that your mind is just obsessing over and then you see confirmation of it. That's a confirmation bias, right? This is something different. The only way that it will appear is if there is a psychic or spiritual resonance with that symbol, with that experience, with that message. So don't ignore the signs because they are authentic messages, all right? We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Pisces every Thursday and Sunday. 6 a.m. Chicago time. I'm here every day. You can come back and see me again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, please do. It is totally free. It does not cost anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know, Pisces, that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.